Look at this. I got headphones on. I got a mic going. Baby.
If
Huh?
only people could see you now.
Hey, no video. We've gone through this before.
All right,
No
all right,
video.
all right. Welcome to This Commerce Life. This is a podcast aimed at small, medium entrepreneurs focused on commerce. I'm Phil, your host, and Kenny, your co-host, will join us as well. And we're going to talk to you about the world of retail and commerce and how things are changing in the world.
To record audio. I think that's me. Hold on.
Well, check mine
Hello?
too. No, I should be okay. Nothing?
Oh no, sorry. That's the right microphone. And then this is hello.
Hello?
Hey, there we are.
Hey, what's going on in the kitchen?
What's going on, man? What is
You
going
must be
on?
tired. You had to work.
I've had to work and then come home and work and then work some more, and it's the life I chose, man.
All good in the hood,
You
baby.
know? Did the life
All
choose
good in
me,
the
or
hood.
did I choose the life? You know what I mean? So
I don't know. What's the difference?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I got to get this off my chest, or I'm gonna stew on it all night. I saw an article on LinkedIn today. I don't know where it is. When I find it again, I will send it to you. But I typed a very long response on my phone and then posted it, and then deleted it. Because I'm conscious of the fact that I'm not just a freelancer, but I've got a company that, I've got in my LinkedIn resume or my LinkedIn titles now too. But the article was about how layoffs need to be more humane, that companies that lay employees off need to do a better job of it. It needs to be, and all these people are like, we agree, and there needs to be a more humane way. And I just, like the cold, dark, soulless bastard that I am, I took issue to the whole thing. I just think I've always thought this way, and I think having been a contractor as well, as it makes me upset, because I think that when you're a white collar worker, the best thing you can do for yourself is to keep your skills up. And then the next best thing you can do is always know when your time is up at a company, right? Like you knew when your time was up. I knew when my time was up. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of that, the new world is full of skills that you have to have, right? Like full-time life is a trap in my mind. I get you get a lot of security, but there is no security. Like when the business isn't getting what they need anymore out of the relationship, you're done. Like,
yeah. And I guess I totally agree with you.
Except you think I'm a cold, dark, soulless bastard.
No, I don't. And I'll tell you why. No, well, maybe you are. Okay, that's really got nothing to do with this conversation right now, though. I guess what you got to are not layoffs have not been around for laying off people is a relatively new concept. I don't know if it's 30 years old, 40 years old.
Yeah.
Right. I think the concept of laying off people really started in the 70s. I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what it was.
Yeah.
Into the late 70s.
Yeah.
And really what it became, why I think people get agitated with laying off. And I'm not too sure about the human, how to do that. I guess you got to go to what's the root cause of the layoff. If shitty management or laying off with the thing of profitability, and then you're 10 minutes later you see bonuses go for all the execs and this and that, right? I think people get sort of agitated with the layoff, and I think when the greed happened in the late 70s, early 80s, you had people doing the layoff thing. It had shit to do with job skills or lack thereof. It was all about money, the shareholder, and my bonus.
Yeah.
So I think what people are probably, I didn't read your article
Yeah.
yet. I took a look. It is down. I mean,
Yeah.
chicken shit. But even saying that, I mean, I guess what it is, I think that's where people, if you have to lay off and restructure a building because you're in the skids, and shit's happening, I think there's, you know what, even most employees would probably try to find a way to help, maybe take pay cuts, etc. But I think the problem with, and I don't know what the people respond. I didn't see the article.
Yeah.
I'm guessing what people are saying is, fuck, these guys are taking $100 million bonuses and we're laying people off when really it took a $90 million bonus. You could have kept them. It wouldn't cost you anything. Yeah. Maybe. So maybe that's where people were coming from. I mean, I don't know, because I didn't read it, so I don't know.
You know what? Man, I'm mad I can't find it now. But
and the skill set thing, you're right. I mean, listen, if you want to be a fisherman in 2019, it's probably not the safest profession to go into, and I get that.
But
if you're
also
in a fisherman company,
and
the big boss is buying the Ferrari and the yacht, and he's entitled to it. It's his thing.
Yeah,
it just becomes where the reason we've got so much problems in this world, I think, right now is because of the disparity of how money is flowing through the system. Yes, we've never been richer. Yes, we've never been healthier. But that's all awesome, and that's awesome for our family and your family.
Yep.
Because we're not. I mean, as bizarre as it sounds, we're probably in that top 1%.
Yeah, we totally are. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But the majority of people I know and that I work with, not for, people.
Yeah.
Fuck, man.
They're not.
A lot of them are not in the top 90.
No.
I shouldn't say that. This is Canada. I don't know. I don't want to start throwing numbers out that I don't know or can't back. But really and truly, our little world is not a bad gig, man.
No, it's not at all. No, I think
you're trying not to take a job because you don't know if you should, and they think it's a negotiating ploy for salary.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously.
Yeah. I know. No, but I think my thing is more like I've got one friend who's a contractor now, who used to be a full-time employee, and I kept saying to him, look, he was like, all I really want is a full-time job, and I kept saying to him, look, when you say things like that, it makes me worry, right? Because that means that you're kind of looking at this place like a retirement home, right? Like you're going to go there, you're going to move in, right? Yeah. And you're not leaving. And that worries me, right? Because, as well as I do, we're kind of in that age group, right? Like I'm in the beginning stages of that. I'm 46, right? You're in your 50s.
I'm 53. This would be the worst year to be sort of in corporate world. 53. I think you and I talked about this in one podcast.
This is the dead zone, right? Like this is
the worst age.
Yeah. And
because I'm totally fireable.
Yeah. And this is when 50, at 50 to 53 or 55 is when, if you're in middle management, if you're any sort of like manager or associate director or senior manager or team lead, this is when you start, gripping the mouse a little bit harder. You start getting anxiety because you're not quite finished your mortgage. The kids are still in school. You got bills to pay, but you just realize like, if the company lets me go, I may or may not have the ability to go out and get another job, right? Whether that's age,
and the company knows that they're not
correct
invested in you.
Yeah,
right?
Correct.
So think from the company, they're thinking, okay, 53. Yeah. If the guy sticks around 4 or 5 more years, fuck, man, we're stuck with him to the end.
Yeah, you are. Yeah.
Right. So you know what? If we got him now, it's a little pricey, but depends what we did with them. The guy went sort of contract with us at 51.
Yeah.
So quite frankly, all the seniority, I think, probably went down the toilet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They start doing the math. You become
you become expensive fast, right?
Like part of what people were saying.
Yeah.
You are strictly a number.
Yeah.
And not an employee number. You're a dollar and cents number.
Yeah.
You're a cost center to the company.
Yep.
How do I mitigate
the
cost center?
And
how sad is that?
But I also think like in this day and age, like in the last 20 years, education for white collar workers has never been more accessible, right? Like,
It's
when
costly
your
though, Phil.
parents, when you're, well, some of it, yes, some of it, no. I mean, there's a lot of online training you can do. There's a lot of,
You're right. But education like
um,
I
yeah,
got because my mom and dad paid
yes.
for me. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
listening, I didn't have student loans.
Yep.
You know what? My
Yep.
kids don't have student loans.
Yeah.
And not
No,
because
I
we
get all
were
that.
brilliant parents.
Yeah.
It's just, I think we're Italian heritage and your kids are going to school.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm
you
going
had
in the
them.
hole for the kid, right? Like, I know.
Well, you had them. I mean, what else are you
Yeah.
supposed to do with them?
Yeah.
That's part of the package, right?
I just think that there's a lot of training out there. Like, I think employees need to, they need
You got to step up and make yourself not redundant.
Yeah, you got to keep your skills up, right? Like,
right. But there's a lot of situations, and again, I didn't read the article.
Agree.
And I don't know the person who responded.
Yeah.
You may have never been in a layoff position, and you would have had a whole bunch of people thinking, you know what, man, I was at 45 and 50, and I had a skill set that made sense for that business.
Yep.
I just didn't fit the shareholders' dream for that quarter, that year.
Yep.
You know what?
Yep.
Me and the 100 people that got laid off, that was the difference between the $3 million bonus that the CEO took or whatever it was versus us staying employed.
Yeah.
Hence why you get animosity and the humane part of it, right?
Yep.
See how much 20 years ago you'd ask me that, I would have said, whatever, fucking stop lying thing. That's what happens when you have kids, right? And kids who grow up in very liberal education systems, etc. And old fart conservatives mellow and become very sad and soft with age. That I start seeing both sides of the story. What happened?
Yeah, I don't know.
What happened?
I don't know, man.
I don't know if this is good.
I don't know. Anyway, that was what was on my chest. I got really irritated about it, and I started typing. I posted, and I was like,
geez,
I can't do this, right? Like,
I think you can, though, in fairness. I mean, as long as you didn't go on to, I know it sounds like a bit of a rant that you might have gone on to, but quite frankly, if your bosses now came up to you and were talking about this, is probably the same thing you would say anyway. It's nothing you wouldn't say or not say. The thing is, you probably tell them, listen, if in fairness, this is a layoff for, here's the reasons.
Yeah.
We're bleeding. Like, we're just bleeding.
Yeah.
And we've got to save some money.
I think the problem is I'm also an outlier. Like, I am that guy, like, anytime, because I'm 46. And so I have lots of friends that are now, kind of gripping the desk. They're worried about it because everybody that I know in packaged goods right now is worried about a layoff of some sort, a restructure, a layoff, right? And they're all in that age group, right? They're approaching them.
They're one buy away from a buyout.
Yeah. But in every case I've said, guys, like, if you know what's coming, you got to start thinking about what you want to be next, right? You got to start moving that way, right? Like, it could be a hobby, it could be, no, I totally get it. I totally get it, right? But it's
very insensitive.
I told you I'm a cold. So no, but it makes me excited. Where everybody gets anxious, I get excited because I don't think of jobs, like, I don't think of work as being a thing you do. Like, I think the way that even the way we've done it in the podcast is it's a journey, right? Like,
I get it, but listen, I came from a company that, even in the office, the average lifespan was 35 years.
Yeah, I totally get it.
I left in 2016.
Yeah.
At 26 years, I wasn't even close to being the longest guy in the building.
Yeah.
But mid-pack, I mean, seriously, do you know what I mean? So where I came from a world very different than you. Like, when we first, I think when I met you in the bar and we were talking, like, I mean, I finally getting my groove. And getting excited about it. But you know what? For a time there, I'm thinking, what the fuck did I do? I thought this was going to be different. And again, it wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
But it was scary because I was used to the same thing. 26 years, every 2 weeks I got a paycheck. I didn't worry about it.
Yeah.
All of a sudden you're waiting and thinking, holy shit, man. I
think the point I'm trying to get to is, I think in this day and age, if you're listening to this, you're probably in that age group anyway. And so, not to make you panic.
Or you're more like us anyway. You're probably going to agree with it.
Yeah, you probably need to reskill, right? Like, whatever you're doing, you should go out and figure out what it is that, you know, you want to do next and start thinking about it, right? Like
I totally
really,
agree.
you know, just
Or take a
baby
look at what
steps,
you're
right?
doing.
Like, yeah.
If what you're doing is something that's viable in 10 years, like, and do use your head. Like if you're a chimney sweep right now, probably not in 10 years viable. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, realistic. I'm trying to be, I'm facetious, but
I got it. Yeah.
But okay, let's say you're in the office and you're a buyer. And the more and more software comes in that you could end up in, then why don't you be the guy that really understands how to build the back end?
Yeah.
Why don't you get involved in what the data is that goes in? Like, be the expert in the other thing. You've got to
find that. Yeah.
Listen, at the end of the day, it comes down, and this is where entrepreneurs are probably a little different wired. There is no obligation for anybody to hold your hand to the day you die.
Yeah. No.
It's nice. Thank God we live in Canada.
Yeah.
Right? If we get sick, there's people there. And quite frankly, the system for the most part, protects us as a society where, you know, it's hard to say anything because you're going to get yourself into trouble on how you say it. But at the end of the day, really and truly, if you're going to be anywhere on the planet, that even if you're in a shitty spot, you potentially could get it, even if not on your own. Grabbing again. I mean, I don't want to simplify people really down and out. I'm not getting. But you're right. It's you know, you can take a course or two. You can listen to these stupid podcasts. Yeah. Right. You can get motivated by two knuckleheads that don't know much about anything, but could probably get you to a point where you're not scared shitless to make a change because they did it.
Yeah, I think so.
Those two dummies did okay. Yeah. So what the hell, right?
Yeah.
I mean, how bad can it really be?
Yeah. Anyway,
I mean, I don't know. I don't have a trade. I don't even know shit within the industry that I'm in. Like, I don't know how to do computer stuff. Right. All I've got is what's between my 2 years.
What are you talking about? Yes, you can.
Yes, listen, you can. You know what? I sell what's sellable for me, or even for you, I guess, is the fact I know things that someone else may not.
Yeah.
My knowledge, my expertise. Is what I sell. Yeah. Right. Yeah. As an individual in the building, you may discount yourself, but what expertise do you have? Right. Yeah. And what can you exploit? And what is that course to make you the best? I mean, whatever it is, I don't care what you are. If you're a merchandising assistant, how do you become the merchant? Yeah. How do you become higher? If you do choose not to, that's awesome. Yep. But understand that the lower on the rung you are, the more easily you are to be replaced. And I know that's cold. That's cold, and I get it.
Cold, heartless bastard.
You know what? Fuck, that's still me, right? Just because I had two things that make me very low about me.
Come and join me, my friend.
You know what? Because I still think you have to do your own fucking thing. I mean, get off your ass and do some shit.
You got to.
Sorry, you got to do it. Right? Like, I can't drag you through it.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, right? Is you control your life. Like, it's just, I found it. So I'm going to send it to you, and then you guys are all listening to this. I'm going to put this in the, I'm going to put it in the podcast notes, and then you guys can jump all over.
Yeah, I'm curious to see it, right? Because
yell at me or whatever you guys want to do.
The reality is, the only one who can protect you in today's world is you.
Is you? Yeah. Yeah.
Right? You're your best and worst enemy.
Anyways, I'm done with this. Done with it.
What a fucking rant you
I know. Anyway.
And I have to look at this. I have to be the one going out and okay, listen, guys, Phil's not that bad. Okay, this is what I think he's trying to say. Put a little heart to this podcast.
Oh, what happened to Chang there? Like,
let's let Vanucci go because he's a little kinder. He's softer. He's a much more better person apparently because he's a little
Oh my God.
He's a little sensitive. He's trying really hard.
Yeah, I know.
Thank God we didn't do this podcast 10 years ago.
Oh my gosh. Man, what's going on with you? What's new?
But just project on project on project. And they're not even project. Like I had one today. Okay, fuck, here's my problem. So I'm reading this to Amelia.
Okay.
I don't. Okay, and nobody listen to this part because don't be stupid like I am. So like I've got a whole bunch of gigs and I've done stuff. I've done 2 contracts since I've been doing this, 2.5 years, almost 3 years. They were both for like 5-hour sessions. I've been on contract with people a year and a half. I really know, like, honestly, like, nothing down, never wrote a proposal, never went in and said, hey, this is what I'm going to do for you, and documented it, said, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I guess someone says, hey, you know what? I would like to get a proposal from you for the following. And I'm looking, I go, I don't know, what the fuck do I write? Well, I don't know. What do you mean a proposal? Anyway, you might just come down and just do some stuff. Like, what are we doing? I got to tell you what I'm going to do. I don't know what I'm going to do. So they wrote down, these are the objectives. I even remember to me, I said, hey, how do I respond to this?
Yeah.
She goes, I don't know. She goes, you don't know how to write a proposal. I said, I realize that's why I'm asking you. I said, I don't know what I'm going to write. I said, I'm almost tempted to phone him and say, what do you want?
So I have some experience with this.
I know you. That's why I told him. I said, I'll talk to Phil.
So I've written a bunch of proposals. I think it depends on who you are. For me, the best jobs that I've done have been ones where I'm like you, where we go in, we talk about it. I'm super clear with the owner and you kind of go. And then Interlocate said to me, well, how do we do this? And I go, here, why don't we do this? Right? So you need me for this. I'll package this thing together. You can expect a bill for give or take this much. How does that sound? Yeah, that's great.
But you base it on, like, you knew what you were. I'm looking at. I don't know how long this is going to take.
No, yeah, I would definitely estimate it out. I mean, I
know you have to, but I'm looking at. I don't know. What the hell do I know? I don't know how long it's going to take. Nobody ever asked me for the time. I don't know. It takes as long as it takes. What are you worried about? I'm not going to rob you. Remember, on the podcast, I'm the nice guy. Yeah, I'm not going to. What do you propose? What do you need
to? No, you kind of need to figure out what you might like. Do you think it would take 5 hours ish?
No shit.
Like a lot more than that, or like
it's. I can't tell you the industry.
Yeah.
Define the various roles of the combined department and set up KPIs for each role and responsibility so we can measure success.
Why are you writing more policies?
Who decides what product store? How do we set it up? Are planograms important? Do all stores participate? How do we communicate to stores? How much core product in each store?
No, that's huge.
I can do all this, but
you got to break it all out though. So you almost got to bucket it and say, look,
that's too much work. They just got to trust me. Like, this is why I don't understand. I just look at someone. What are you doing? Seriously? I'm going to come down. We're going to sit. I'm going to look around. We're going to watch some stuff. Then we're going to do some stuff. How long is it going to take? Not too long. I don't want to be here forever either.
So
what's that worth? I don't know.
So the opposite has happened to me too, where I've put out formal proposals in almost every case. They haven't been nearly as much fun, and they just suck, right? Like, because I think it's a sign of definition, right? Because it's like when I work with like us, right? Like our friend, we didn't sign anything. I kind of went, here.
Yeah, he was all excited.
He was like, woo, let's do it, like, and we're
before you know it, he's texted me on Sunday. Yeah. So when's the proposal? I said, you were in the phone call. Give it a chance. The poor guy, this is the weekend.
Like, like, I know. So but that's huge though. Like how are you gonna?
I think I'm gonna phone him. I'm gonna tell him. I don't know how to write a proposal. What do you want? I know what you want, but what do you want? What do you want to know? Do you want to know how long this is going to take me? Do you want to know what I'm going to charge? What do you want to know out of this? Because I can't tell you.
Like,
I don't know.
Probably, like, he probably wants to know.
I guess I could do an assessment.
You'd probably have to break it out into a bunch of modules, right? So it's almost like, if you think of it like there's a bunch of job descriptions, and then there's a bunch of KPIs for the job descriptions, and then there's deliverables that measure the KPIs, right? So it's almost like 3 different modules.
So formal.
Yeah, it totally does. But this is what I'm saying.
Real world.
Like,
it's not my world.
It's not. it's not my cup of tea.
Buddy,
Like,
I walk in. You know what it is?
You know,
I see you. We sit down. We talk. You like me. I like you.
Yeah,
You know what we do? We do business.
And we
I
set
don't
up
know what we do.
a rough framework, right? Like, there are moments where you go, listen, like, I can do that. I think it's going to take me like 4 or 5-ish hours. If I get over 8, I'll call you, and then you can decide, if you want me to keep going or not. But otherwise, it'll be somewhere in there, right? Like, and this is what I charge for, somewhere in there, right? Like,
yeah, I
and
guess.
then usually that's enough, right? Like, at least with the people I work with, that's enough, right? So,
I guess I've had nothing that's stopped.
Yeah.
I think that's sort of the problem I'm having with it, is in a funny way, right? I go into all these places, and it's almost like now they're always calling.
Yeah.
And they know that I can't go. If they know, okay, I think because basically what we're paying me, we got 4 days a month. They just call me 4 days a month.
Yeah.
What do we do each time?
Yeah.
Depends on what they need done.
Whatever needs to get done.
Some accounts is work.
Yeah.
Some accounts is sitting around the table and strategizing and discussing, because I'm not in their weeds, and they like the fact, okay, this guy doesn't cost that much per se.
Yeah.
Like if they had to go hire a consulting firm, they'd be spending shitloads of money, and they know that. So they get this guy to come in.
15-minute, right? Like,
right.
Yeah.
Go in, sit down. Like today, it was awesome. Today I was there from 9:30 till 3:30, and that was super fast, 6 hours. But I love the people I'm working with.
Yeah.
Right? And I love what we're trying to do.
Yeah.
And they love the input. But I got dragged into trade marketing today, dragged into a sales manager meeting at the end of the month, into an enterprise meeting, then into a forecast meeting, and then into an international market meeting.
That's awesome.
So you know what? Yeah, I know. You know what I knew before I got in there today?
Yeah.
Nothing. I had to be there 9:30.
That's hilarious.
I didn't know the day was going to go with. You know what I mean? So like,
yeah, I got you. You know what I'm going to do? I'll throw you something I built that has it's not similar, but there's some component, like the way I had to do it. It has componentry.
If you got a framework, and I'll take a look at it. I mean, at the end of the day, it works because I'm going to phone them and say, "Listen, I'm not this guy. I'm not a firm. I ain't going to come down with this fucking pages of
I
don't do that.
Yeah,
I'm going to come in. We're going to sit down. We're going to look at things together. What it takes is what it takes. I'm not the guy that's I have no interest in ripping anybody off. If it goes a little longer and I had fun, I'm not going to give a shit.
Yeah.
It'll work for everybody.
Okay, I'm sending this over to you. Yeah.
Oh, did I lose you again?
No, I'm here. Can you hear me?
I may have lost you this.
No,
Daniel
I'm here.
in this Fortnite.
Yeah, it's me actually. Are you there?
Is that you this time?
I think it's me. That was so weird. Oh, I don't know why. Maybe because I'm.
Because maybe your kids are on Fortnite.
Yeah, probably my kid's on Fortnite.
I know mine probably is.
Okay, there you go. I just sent it to you. I realized something today. So so it's funny, right? We've been kind of laughing about me taking this full-time job thing.
Well, I laugh every day.
Yeah, so the funny thing is, today was the day that I looked at all our stuff and went, you know what we really need? We need a sales deck. That was so for the audience.
How true it probably was, though.
Yeah,
you needed probably something just to put it into a format. Like, what is it? What do you do?
Yeah. So the funny thing is, like, so Kenny, so the audience knows. Kenny texted me today and said, "Listen, like, so for your reference, we're recording a couple of days earlier than we normally do, right? Because Kenny's got some stuff coming up." So I'm like, "Yeah, no problem." And he's like, "Hey, how's the job?" And I go, it's kind of like the same crap all the time, right? And that literally 5 minutes before that, I'm looking at, because it's a bigger business, right? Like there are 50 people here, but most of them are tech people, right? There are very few. There's a handful of salespeople. It's kind of a complicated tech business. But once I sorted it all out, I was like, wait, like our sales talk non-existent. Like, what is this 14-page written document we're sending out? And they're like, well, this is when we go to prospective customer. Like, you're
Nobody's reading
bringing
that shit, you
a
guys.
14-page
Pictures.
written document? Like,
Pictures. Like pictures and graphs. Don't give me too much. If I'm going to read a freaking book, I'll go to the library.
So I was laughing at myself going, you hired me full-time to do this. I charge brands like $500.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh my God.
I just...
it's not even marketing 101. It's like grade 12 marketing.
No, we haven't even started the marketing part. Like, just,
oh, that's awesome.
Oh my God. So I just.
But you know what, though? Yeah. Welcome to, especially in your welcome to tech startups.
Yeah.
Because you got a bunch of propeller heads around, and they're all brilliant at what they do.
Yeah, they
don't know shit on how to sell.
No.
And they couldn't explain. They couldn't go to a layman like me. I'd be looking. I'm thinking, I have no idea what you're telling me.
Yeah.
Where's the sales deck? Because I can't talk to you anymore. Give me the picture with the graph.
Yeah. I mean, it's
too
like
many
I've
words.
been there, a handful of days. I guess this is my first real full-time week, and I'm like, what is it, Tuesday, right? And I've already oh my gosh, like we don't know how to say anything, right? Like Yeah.
Put a group of propeller heads together. What are they all saying? Nobody understands them except them.
Yeah, it's like
Star
Trek people speaking Klingon to themselves, right?
Well, exactly. And you're thinking, I don't know what the hell you're telling me.
Yeah, I don't understand it. So
you got to put it into lay terms, right?
Yeah. So anyway, I literally had that moment. Like, so you were like, "How's it going?" I'm like, "This is too long for a text."
That's so funny.
Tell you.
That's so funny. I have to do a sales deck.
Yeah, no, I'm serious. I like it. I read it like 8 times, going, "This is really well written," and then I realized, like, wait a second, like, who cares? This is a good written deck. Like, no one's gonna read it. Like, oh my God,
You know who's gonna read it? Nobody.
I did. I read it for everybody because it's.
That's my point, though. Yeah, you have to read it.
Yeah,
if that got sent to you and you're one of the potential prospects, you know what you do? What the hell is this stupid thing? It's like a white paper. I'm not going to read it.
Well, when we were buyers, like, that is the perfect moment where you go, I don't know.
Oh, you wouldn't get a listing. Why? Because I wouldn't understand. Listen, you presented. I ripped those pages out. I don't want. Give me. You know what I want?
Can go
give
now.
Me a picture.
Yeah.
Give me some quick details. Give me a price and get out of here.
Yeah.
That's. I don't want to read a book.
Yeah. Anyway, so fancy but not fancy, right? Like, the problems are all the same, right? So
all the same, right? What it comes down to is basic communication.
Yeah.
How are you talking to your customers? These guys want to send, because I'm going to be the customer. It's not going to be some tech guru. It's going to be some guy that's needs to get something to figure out how to solve this problem.
Yeah.
And all the tech goobity goop. The guy buying probably doesn't care per se.
Well, I think so. I actually think that what has to happen. So I think that the deck is going to get more sophisticated because there's going to be a handful of pages for the guy like us who's going to be like, look, I'm the guy looking for whatever the crap is that my company needs that I don't quite understand. And then I think the other job that we need to be able to do is we need to be able to bring it back and help him sell it. Do you know what I mean? Like,
100%.
So as soon as they show up in the organization, because they're going to go, yeah, this is the thing. And then they show up inside the organization and go, the thing and the thing. And you got to.
Well, because I don't understand how to sell it. I just know what you told me.
Go, what? So exactly. So the deck actually needs to be built so it can be ripped apart. So every, cross-functional group that needs this gets a page out of this deck.
Exactly.
And then that guy goes, look at me, I'm brilliant. Look, I figured out how to speak it in your language, right? Like, off you go.
That's what you want, though. Let the techies talk to the techies and the buyer talk to the seller.
Yeah.
Because they're different languages.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
It's funny. I had someone ask the other day, the same group who's doing this, about buying. They said, did you know everything about your products? I looked, I said, what do you mean? He goes, well, did you, really study your products? I said, listen, the only people in the buying department were the fucking camera and computer guys because they thought they needed to know all this shit. Mm-hmm. Not understanding that, again, all you need to know is what does the consumer want to buy?
Yeah.
That's the most important part. All the bullshit in your head is important. Sure.
Yeah.
Do you need to be that grand? Do I need to know where the molecule came from?
No.
I don't give a rat's ass.
No. Well,
Health Canada regulates it.
And then
I
know
figured
people,
Johnson
right?
Johnson's pretty on the up and up.
Yeah.
I just make sure that the customer wants it. Is it packagable? Does it look okay? Is it priced properly? I said,
you know people, right? Because, Joanne Ferguson and Lynn Shiseido, when they came in, you'd see it on their face, right? Like they'd sell you the Dickens, but you go,
well, they filtered before typically.
I saw the filter, and then you still had to bring it in, but I can see it. I don't know. Sorry. Right. Or like, you're excited. I'm excited. Let's go.
Yeah.
Right? So,
Exactly.
Yeah.
But that's because at that point, we're no longer buyer and seller. We're all for three customers.
Yeah.
And saying, okay, if we were the stores, would we buy this? And even if we wouldn't buy it, I'm thinking like as a customer who's already in this set, would this be something that would interest me if I was here? Yeah, I would. Okay, then we should probably list it.
Yeah.
Do I need to know the structure? No. Do I need to know how to make it? Couldn't give a shit.
No. Yeah.
Couldn't give a shit.
Yeah.
Honestly, could not care. I don't care how it works in your body, how it doesn't work in your body. I just know that in your head it does work.
Yeah.
Right. And it's been approved and nobody's going to die from this stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, there's going to be some complicated, but we're a pharmacy and you go talk to the professionals.
Yeah.
Well, my job is to make sure that it's available for you to buy at the right price at the right time. And that's it. Yeah, and I told these guys the same thing. I said, listen, if you want to be as a buyer, if you want to be the expert of Chardonnays, sure, light it up.
That actually sounds like fun.
It sounds like a hoot. Does it make you a better buyer? No. To be honest with you, probably makes you a dangerous buyer and probably makes you a buyer that's got way too much bias because you know too much.
Yeah. And
you're probably not going to be open-minded enough.
Like it's not.
Well, plus you're not going to take the good-looking bottle because it's not the right Chardonnay. I don't give a shit what you think. That bottle's going to sell.
Yeah.
To this end user. Do you care if you don't like it? I don't give a shit if you like the Chardonnay or not.
No.
It has nothing to do with anything.
Yeah.
Right?
I know.
So sometimes I think the more you know, the more dangerous you become. Actually.
Yeah. Oh man. That is, that's what's going on. Trying to think of what else is going on.
I got nothing. I got proposal angst, so I got to go figure out how to manage that.
Yeah. You do. No, other than that, I'm writing. I'm writing content like nobody's business into Locate, and we're on a tear. I figured out how to unlock her business. I think so. Last week was website. This week is articles, more articles, expanded content plan.
Content.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's because we figured out her audience, right? Like, so to what we talked about last week is we finally figured out who, when you're in a B2B business, it's harder because you got to figure out who your buyer is, and then who it's for. But now we figured it out, right? So now it's like, okay, I figured out who it is. Now I can target them and figure out how to knock it down, right? So, yeah.
Yeah. Plus, again, I think once you figure that out, like, I mean, after we talked, because I mean, I have 2 food distributors, right? It's all B2B, right? So we definitively need to know who our B
that's the challenge. Yeah.
And I get that. The thing is, what we really need to figure out who the C is, because if I can figure out who the C is, then I can go to the B and say, listen, here's why you need it.
Yeah.
This customer is in your store.
Yeah.
And looking for this product, and here's the reasons why.
Yeah.
And if you're looking for shelf space, see that product over there that you love, that's the wrong person. You might be getting him or her, but it's not the right one.
The food thing is really complicated because you've got it's B2B to C, but it's actually B2B to B to C, right? Like if you think about if you've got a food product, so if I'm the distributor, or I'm the buyer at the grocery store, Kenny sells it to me, I'm selling it to mom, but mom's not consuming it. It might actually be a kid who's consuming it. So you're actually going
that mom is the critical one, right?
Right? Yeah. But it's almost like you gotta You got
Yeah.
two end targets, right? Because you need
Absolutely.
to market mom, so she knows, hey, you know, nutritionally, this is a great thing to buy. But you're not going to say that to a kid, right? You're going to say to the kid, like, this has got wicked taste, or there's a prize at the
It's
bottom.
fun.
You should tell your mom that you should buy it, right? So,
Exactly.
you know, and then you got to figure out how to layer all that up to,
Yeah.
you know, the buyer to be able to buy it, right? So it's complicated.
It can be.
Complicated,
It
man.
can be, right? But
Yeah.
I mean, what do you do?
No, you do it. That's what you do. You do it. You know?
Do it.
Yeah.
Right?
Well,
You don't sit down and waste all this time writing proposals. Stupid.
yeah.
It takes all time, too much time. Propose. You know what I propose? I'm going to come in, do some work for you. You're going to pay me, and we're going to be happy. That's what I propose.
Propose we do it. Yeah.
I propose we just shut up and do it.
Yeah. I know, man. Well, you gotta go. You gotta go and build this proposal. Hopefully, that thing helps you. That I said.
I'm going to take a look at it. I'll take a look at it now.
Yeah. And then
I'm sure it can't hurt. I mean, honestly, I know the way I'm going to do it. I'm going to get all well. And I'm going to put tomorrow. I'm going to phone and say, listen, what do you want? I said, I don't understand this proposal shit. Okay. Bottom line, can I help you? 100%.
Yeah.
Do I know your industry? No, but I know your industry.
Yeah, I mean, I guess
you know what
it
I mean.
depends on what he's after.
I don't need to know the widget. It's basically the mechanics are all the same. It's just going to take some time.
I just wonder. If it's a cost thing, you can figure that out. If it's a timeline thing, you can figure it out. If they're just getting a proposal just for a proposal, then it's kind of annoying.
I don't think it is. I think what they're trying to figure out. I think really what it is. It comes down to a cost thing. Is what they're trying to figure out. If I go by the hour, like what's this going to cost us?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Where I'd rather go in and tell them, listen. I mean, I can tell you if you went into the real world and went into some big gun who's going to write all these wonderful proposals, they're going to be 4 times my price.
Yeah.
That I can tell you emphatically for sure.
Yeah.
And they're not going to get it done any faster. And it sure the hell won't be as fun.
Yeah.
Right. So at the end of the day, is, you know what? I mean, we can bury one project at a time. And if you don't like me, pay me for what I've done. And I'll tell you what, I'll even recommend a few people that might be better suited to you. I don't care.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
It's hard. It's always the first leap, right? The first step is people got to take a chance.
Yeah.
A chance. And that's the other thing. You know what happens too? You get to be a real smart ass. You know, you start thinking, am I serious? What proposal? Nobody wants a proposal from me. I just go do work.
Yeah, I've actually I've turned people down because I have had ones where, you know, like I've said, you know, hey, this is what you need. It's pretty clear to me. I think I can do that in about 5 hours time. This is what it'll cost you. And they go, yeah, you know, can you submit a proposal? Can you be really clear about, you know, and then and at that point I go, you know what? I don't really do that. Right. Like, you know, I'm here with you. If you trust me, you trust me.
I'm coming in or you're not coming in.
Yeah. You know, like, and you're an entrepreneur, so you got pretty good skills, right? So you can see who I am. This is who I am. This is how I do it, you know, because in almost every case otherwise where I've submitted a proposal, it's like, you know, one was like, where's the proposal? And then it was like, okay, do we have a plan? I'm like, the proposal is the plan. Like that's, you know, but can you sketch it out more? No, I can't because
I sketch it out anymore. Basically, and you know
that's what I'm doing, right? Like I've got to go do it, or I can spend more time sketching. But you probably should have hired Deloitte to sketch you more. You know,
exactly.
Because they have people.
You're better off to go get a good sketch artist and then come back and tell me what do you think, and I'll tell you which ones we should tackle.
There's one of me. I can't sketch with one hand and do with the other. Like
but remember what they also want to do is they do that to get as much out of you for nothing. And then figure out, okay, what do we think we really need to do here?
Yeah,
I had a few people do that at the beginning, right? I talked and talked. We went through things, and I finally told them, I said, "Listen, you've already done 3 hours of free information.
Yeah.
Right now, you know what? Quite frankly, you don't need me, and I don't need this.
Yeah.
So go with what I told you. Figure it out.
I guess.
You know,
I'm out of here, right? Like, yeah.
Figure out what you need. You know, and I said, the next phone call, you're on the clock.
Yeah.
Right. Because and not to be a prick about it, because honestly, you know, this bullshit back and forth,
right? Like it's just not. Not
time.
Yeah.
I have no interest. You know what it is? It's not even time. That's corporate again. I have no interest in being corporate.
Yeah.
I think that's why this doesn't bother me. These guys are awesome.
Yeah.
I met these guys at the coffee bar. They're fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Good goop. I would love.
Awesome.
I think we could do some damage. Like,
That's
sure, I think
awesome.
we a hoot.
Yeah.
Right. But
Yeah.
I think what it is they're just probably thinking, okay, what's this going to cost us?
Yeah. Is he going to take us to town or what? So,
right. And the problem they don't understand is I have no freaking idea. That's what it's going to cost you. I don't know, man.
I love it.
If it gets out of control, we'll just shut her down.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It's awesome, dude.
You got no choice but to do this, so it doesn't really matter what it costs. What it costs is what it costs.
I love it.
All right, that's the end of this Commerce Life. We'll be back soon with the next episode. Thank you for joining us. We hope you enjoyed it. Give us feedback. Tell us what you think. Subscribe, like us, join us, share us, tell your friends about us. And we hope to see you next time with more commerce news.